All right, so I'll go ahead and give the formal welcome to all of our participants today. Hello and happy Thursday. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration Program for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. Thank you all for joining us today for this session. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we go ahead and get started. You as a participant are able to use that Q&A feature that's located at the bottom of your screen to type out any questions that you all may have for our presenters at any time. And also as a reminder that your camera and microphone are actually going to be off during this session. So you are able to see our panelists today, but unfortunately they won't be able to see you. So just making sure to use that Q&A feature to make sure that our panelists know of any questions or anything that you may be wondering about. This is also just one of many different sessions that are happening this week and throughout these next few weeks. So make sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org, and that is CACRAO.org. And then finally, this session is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, CACRAO.org. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to our presenters because they have a really great presentation set up for y'all today.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks. We're so glad you could tune in today. My name's Katie Connor, and I'm an admissions counselor at Catawba College. And I'm going to spend the next 7-ish minutes kicking us off, and each college on the panel will do the same. And then we're going to leave plenty of time at the end for questions from you guys. But like she said, feel free to drop them at any point in the chat, and we'll be happy to get to them. But I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk about Catawba and our performing arts programs and what it would be like to transfer in as a student here. So our Shifford School of Performing Arts has 2 amazing departments in both theater and music. So to give you a brief overview, starting with theater, our programs actually traditionally rank in the top 20 college programs for theater by the Princeton Review. We have 5 degree options, starting with BA in theater arts, 3 BFA tracks in design and production, performance or musical theater, and a BS in theater arts administration, which is very interdisciplinary with our Kettner School of Business here at Catawba. Transitioning over to music, some of these programs are pretty straightforward. One that's very unique that I just want to explain a bit is our popular music degree. So we are one of about 12 schools in the country to have a degree like this. It's geared towards students who want to go specifically into the popular music industry, and that can mean as performers, engineers, producers, a variety of things, but for the pop music industry. So some of those other degrees are a little more self-explainable, and then our sacred music and worship arts programs are for students who want to perhaps become a music director, a pianist or organist, et cetera, in a liturgical or church setting. So I wanted to explain a few of those. Just a bit more about our performing arts scene on campus. We have over 6 theater productions per year. So that's 4 main stage productions directed by faculty, and then 1 to 2 full-length productions directed by students, depending on the year and the prerequisites that they meet for the directing classes. We also have 4 gorgeous venues on campus, which for our size, which I'll explain in a little bit, is very impressive and exciting. We have a full proscenium theater, a modified thrust, a black box, and then our music department also has a really gorgeous space for their weekly concerts. I could go on and on about our performing arts. I do want to touch on one thing regarding this photo in the middle, this ADP program. This is a very unique part about Catawba and our performing arts scene. This is called the Artist Development Program, and it's essentially a fully 100% student-run show that's put on every Friday night in conjunction with our music business and popular music students. So long story short, they always put it on a show, and it's sold out, packed every Friday night, which I think is awesome. And those of you tuning in are clearly looking for a performing arts program to transfer into. And I just wanted to highlight that the performing arts are really supported and accepted here at Catawba. And if you're not there an hour early, you're not getting a seat at those concerts. To tell you a bit more generally about Catawba, we are an undergraduate institution and a private liberal arts school of about 1,300 students. Overall, about 70% of our students live on campus, so pretty residential, tight-knit family community. But if you're looking to transfer and perhaps live off campus, about 30% of students do that as well. So a very good mix. We also have students from over 33 states and 19 countries. So if you're looking for diversity in your peers and classmates for the remainder of your college career, I think that's something you'll find here at Catawba. I also want to mention just the performing arts scene in general in Salisbury. So we're located in Salisbury, North Carolina. It's a small town of about 35,000 people. It's about 40 minutes from downtown Charlotte, 40 minutes from Winston, 50 minutes from Greensboro. Salisbury itself actually has 4 theater venues downtown, and a Salisbury Professional Symphony Orchestra. So there's always events and arts performances going on, which gives you the best of both worlds. You have the on-campus events, the off-campus Salisbury events, and then also the proximity to these metropolitan areas to even venture further if you'd like to do that. Let me talk about financial aid real briefly. So on the top right are our estimated tuition fees, room and board per school year. 100% of students, first-year students or transfer students, receive some sort of financial aid. So with you guys coming in as transfer students, you're automatically going to receive a merit scholarship that's somewhere between $8,000 to $15,000 per school year. We also have talent-based scholarships. So that applies to our music and theater programs. You would audition and then qualify for departmental-based scholarships. And finally, with those of you tuning in, presumably being transfer students, you're already a little bit familiar with FAFSA. We have additional need-based institutional, federal, and state aid that you would qualify for as well. So students often find that, despite our sticker price, we may often come out and be as affordable or even more affordable for you once your financial aid is calculated than other schools with lesser tuitions. If any of you are in PTK, we also have specific scholarships for participation in that as well as transfer students. Let me talk about credits for a second. Catawba is a very transfer-friendly institution. So I'm sure some of you might be nervous about transferring somewhere and losing credits or having to stay longer in school. Catawba was actually one of the first private colleges in North Carolina to create articulation or matriculation agreements with the community colleges. So if you're looking to transfer in with an AFA or an AA or AS, we're going to recognize that and give you credit for 64 hours, and you'll have all your gen ed requirements met. So you won't have to come to Catawba and take any other gen ed courses. Even if you don't complete your associate in fine arts or whatever track you're on, you can still transfer up to 64 credits from a community college. You can transfer up to 90 credits from a 4-year institution as well. So the easiest thing to do in order to determine, what exactly you're going to get credit for at Catawba is to email us your transcript, and we'll get that credit evaluation back to you typically within a week. I want to touch on a couple of these numbers real quick. I'm running out of time, but our average class size is very small at Catawba. You can't hide here. I kind of want to let Brielle introduce herself very quickly. She's a student who's in the performing arts scene, just to let you know that she's here and we can answer any questions for you guys.
So my name is Brielle Job. I'm a senior BFA musical theater major from Frederick, Maryland. I sit on the board of our Blue Mask, which is our drama club on campus. It's also our oldest club on campus. I captain our improv team, which is entirely student run, and we have 3 to 4 performances a semester. And I also sit on our theater arts student advocacy board. So that is kind of a mediator between students and also to go from students to faculty and kind of communicate through that as well. I'm also in the Honors College, so if that's something you're interested in, it's totally doable. As a theater major, at one point my freshman and sophomore year, the Honors College was actually made up of 50% were performance and theater arts majors. So that's totally a thing that is doable with scheduling. So There you go.
Yeah, I will cut us off there. We're out of time. We are happy to answer any questions in the chat. And I'm going to turn it over to, I believe, Mahogany at CACRAO to share some stuff about their program. Thanks, guys.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
You can hear me? Okay. All right. So my name is Mahogany Gals. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at CACRAO University. So we have Meredith Sims and Nathaniel Rutledge, who are members of our PVA program, and they're going to tell you a little bit more about what we have to offer here at CACRAO, and then I will come behind them and speak a little bit to our admissions and application process.
All right, yeah, so I'm going to start off since the slide says art, so I'm going to start there. So this is my area. I'm the coordinator for the visual art part of our school. And as you can see here, we offer a BFA degree in studio art. That's a relatively new thing. We started that a couple years ago, and we've had a lot of strong interest from our students in that. We also offer a BA degree in art with several concentrations. So we have studio art, graphic design, art education, and photography. Within those different concentrations, just to kind of break them down a little bit more. Within the studio art area, that's drawing, painting, sculpture, ceramics, and mixed media. Within graphic design, that's graphic design, interaction design, as well as web design. Art education, that's kind of like a dual major if you want to think of it that way. We partner with our School of Education with that, and so you kind of do a little bit of both for both areas. And so it is a little bit more intensive, but that's part of being an art educator. Photography, we have digital photography, but we also have a really great darkroom space. So we do darkroom photography as well. As far as applying for scholarships and things like that, that is something that is definitely within the realm of possibility no matter when you come in. And we do have, there's the link there for auditions. And so on that link as well is a place where you can submit a portfolio. So if you have work that you've completed, you can submit your portfolio there. And you can also get feedback from us. We're really hands-on with that process of portfolio review. So if you have any work that you want to submit, we do try to reach out and contact you in a non-COVID year. We actually really like to have students come on campus and talk to them and actually give you a critique, give you feedback, do all of that stuff. So, but we can still do that. We can do it like this, just like this. See, it's perfect. But yeah, so please do that if you're definitely interested in the financial aid part of what we can offer you as far as scholarship money. And I think that's it. Yeah, let's jump in. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm going to jump in. I am the coordinator for our dance program, and we offer a BFA in dance focusing on performance and choreography, the only one in South Carolina. And this is for students who are really of a high technical and artistic skill and are interested in being professional dancers or choreographers. And it's a pretty intense degree, really focused in taking a lot of advanced levels of ballet and modern and choreography. We also offer a BA in dance education, similar to what Professor Gullidge was saying. It's like a double major in education and dance, and students with that degree graduate with a certification to teach in the public schools in dance. And we also offer a BA in dance, and this is for students who are maybe interested in a double major or would like to take a lot of electives and have kind of a broad approach to their dance career and training. Our program, we have at least 2 to 3 main stage performances every year, as well as performing in our community and in different events around the state at conferences. We have a CACRAO repertory dance company, which is a pre-professional dance company for students to kind of get that experience of what it's like dancing in a professional setting. We also bring in multiple guest artists and do residencies every year. This year we have Dance Now Miami, a contemporary ballet company from Miami, coming to perform and do master classes with our students. We just did last Friday a virtual house dance class. And so information is on here. We do have auditions for the BFA and the dance education degree, as well as for scholarship, and we're doing those virtually. So you can submit videos and portfolios at the website that's posted on here and learn more about our program at the website. If you want to keep going, Mahogany, I'll talk a little about music. Yeah, we also have multiple degrees in our music program. So we have a BA in voice as well as a BA in piano, including a music education degree. So we also are starting a program with instrumental music for music education if you're interested in teaching like band or something like that on the K through 12 public school level. We have a very active and robust choir program that's well known in South Carolina. They do a lot of touring throughout the regional area. They're planning a tour to Boston next year. So it's very active in the choir, and they're performing in our community. And information about auditioning or submitting portfolio or information is also on here. There are scholarships for both music majors as well as those interested in being a part of the choir. There's additional scholarship for the choir program as well. And if you want to go into theater, Mahogany, thank you. We also offer degrees in theater. So we have a BA in performance as well as a degree in technical theater. And then you can also get a BA in musical theater. We have a black box area as well as a proscenium stage that seats about 450, where we have performances happening in both these venues throughout the year, doing straight plays as well as at least one musical theater production every year. The students run a 10-minute play festival that happens at the beginning of the year. And then there are a lot of opportunities for students to do independent studies or a senior capstone project where perhaps they're writing their own plays or they're directing. A lot of opportunities to stage manage or be the assistant director for some of our main stage shows. So one of the great things about CACRAO is all of the individual attention, and we help students kind of chart their own path. So if you have a specific interest in a really specific area of dance, music, theater, or art, we help you cultivate that. And by the time you graduate, you've had a lot of opportunities to do individual projects or performances in that area. And I'll let Mahogany take over.
All righty. Now, just to kind of give you a little bit of information about CACRAO and how to apply, we are a private liberal arts institution located in Hartsville, South Carolina. I like to say we're right in between Myrtle Beach and Columbia. That kind of give you a little bit of idea about where we are located. I often say that CACRAO takes on the town of Hartsville. We have a small campus, and Hartsville is like a family type environment. It's really hard for students to get lost at CACRAO. We have about a student population of approximately 1,200 students with a 12-to-1 student faculty ratio. In regards to our application, it's absolutely seamless, no application fee, no essays. We just ask that you submit your transcripts from all of the institutions that you've attended before in the past. In terms of admissions requirements, we're looking for at least a 2.0 GPA and 30 credit hours. However, if you don't have the 30 credit hours, we still encourage you to apply. As long as you have that 2.0 GPA, you should be fine. In addition to the talent scholarships that Professor Gullidge and Sims mentioned, we also provide academic merit scholarships ranging from $7,500 to $15,000 per year. This is not a one-time stag just to get you at CACRAO. These scholarships are renewable for 2 years. So if you have any more if you have any questions or if you need more information about CACRAO, you can always email me or you can call and text me at the number listed on the screen.
Mahogany, should I go ahead and jump on in here? Cool. How's everybody doing today? I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation here. My name is Steve Alford. I'm one of the faculty members at the University of North Carolina, Asheville, and I'm also the recruitment coordinator for the Visual, Literary, and Performing Arts here at the university. And today I'm obviously talking about performing arts because you all are interested in potentially transferring into those, which I highly recommend. Let me get this PowerPoint presentation started here. We are the dedicated liberal arts and sciences campus of the North Carolina public system here. And so the entire school is a liberal arts and science focus. All of the degree paths here are carried under that liberal arts and sciences umbrella. Our total student population ranges from about 3,200 up to about 3,500 a year, with incoming cohorts around 700 in their freshman term. No matter what degree path you're taking here is going to be within a liberal arts and sciences mindset, which is a multidisciplinary functionality. And so I put up here the performing arts within a liberal arts and sciences environment. We want you to cross-fertilize. My music tech students and my BFA students, for instance, are spending time in the new media labs, learning virtual reality, multimedia projects, cross-fertilizing into the film and mass communications. I want people cross-fertilizing within the performing arts, spending time on stage, learning presentation skills, as well as learning performance skills. The student to faculty ratio here is 13:1. And so there's a lot of individual attention. You hit the ground running in terms of an amazing amount of immersement into the arts performance aspects. Starting, first year freshman and or first time you're coming in as a transfer. This is kind of the biggest component that I tell people regarding what it means to come and study here, which is what I call the Asheville variable. For those of you who are not familiar with Asheville, North Carolina, we are pretty much the best art scene you're going to find in a city in the Southeast. Rolling Stone magazine wrote us up last summer as the must-visit city for music in the United States. One of the things that we end up with here is an average of 450 live music events per week going on in the greater Asheville area. Asheville is a small mountain town of 95,000 people. The county that we are in has about 250,000, but the greater Asheville area, like I said, supports about 450 live music events per week. This runs the gambit from classical string quartets or the symphony to Americana and old time music to jazz, both traditional and like a free jazz and experimental. We have a great Irish prog rock scene. We have a wonderful death metal scene. Everything that you can find that is sound sculpture, we have it here. As far as the theater arts, there are over a dozen established theater companies that perform in a number of venues, including the Diana Wortham Theater, the Flat Rock Playhouse down in Henderson County, the Magnetic Theater repertoire, the Asheville Community Theater. All of our students, both music students and theater students, spend time in this environment. And I am of the opinion that 80% of what you learn in the performing arts is outside of the classroom and outside of the edge of the campus. You have to immerse yourself into a professional scene to hone your skills before you get out of school. That way you can hit the ground running when you graduate. As far as the Department of Music, which is the department that I teach in, we have a Bachelor of Arts in Music, a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Jazz and Contemporary Performance, and a Bachelor of Science in Music Technology. All three of these degree paths are housed within the School of Music, which means that they require an audition to enter into those programs. My auditions in the fall are coming up here in November in a couple of weeks, and I have auditions in January, in the spring, and this would be for the incoming fall semester of next year in 2021. Reach out to me for details on that audition process. So if you're transferring in, you would need to audition into the School of Music. The Bachelor of Arts in Music is a performance or research focused. Once again, it's housed within a liberal arts and sciences path. And so there's a lot of different directions one can take. I've got people that are studying Americana music, people that are studying ethnomusicology, people that are focused in music theory, people that are looking at world music. We've also got people studying classical as well as popular music within that Bachelor of Arts umbrella. We also have a lot of students that use the Bachelor of Arts in Music as a launch pad into master's programs that are, for instance, pre-law. You know, they intend to go on to law school. I've got some people that are utilizing it going into history programs. I've got people that are utilizing it moving into eventual education programs in their master's studies. So it's a pretty open-ended degree with which you can customize. The BFA, Jazz and Contemporary, is a performance degree. We're talking multi-genre improvisation, contemporary music theory. I have an entire electric wind studio, so all of the wind instruments get to run through guitar effects boards and looping stations and digital effect patterns. There's music business that's incorporated in with the performance degree. The key with this is that you're within year 2, you are out and about within the professional performance environment in the city of Asheville. So there's a multitude of performance opportunities that tap you into the professional music world before you get out of school. The Bachelor of Science in Music Technology program is a studio practicum and management program. This teaches you to run a recording studio. It involves a solid state logic SSL AWS 900 plus recording board. We're a Pro Tools school, so we use Pro Tool high definition. This board has a 96 input-output interface and a 16-track 1-inch multi-track analog tape machine. And all of this is interconnected. We have a full music studio, production studio in the basement of our building. And the music tech students are the gatekeepers to the studio. So you are not only involved in all of your practicum classes, but you are also involved in bringing your own projects in or fellow students' projects from some of your contemporary performance projects as recording projects in the studio. The Bob Moog Electronic Music Lab is here as well. And so there's a lot of electronic music composition and electronic sound design that's built into this Bachelor of Science Music Technology program. Moving on from there, the drama department. So we have a Bachelor of Arts in Drama, which has concentrations in technical theater as well as teacher licensure for K through 12. The technical theater program is so that when you come here as a BA in drama, you are learning all aspects of theater. So we are not just focusing on standing on the boards. We are talking about acting skills, but we are also talking about directing, playwriting, costume design, backstage technical management, lighting, etc. All of the theater students get involved in that entire process. As I mentioned earlier, the number of repertoire theaters, as well as the number of companies, the active practicing companies within the city of Asheville are numerous. And so there's not only the opportunities to perform on stage here with us on campus, but also off stage regarding internships and such, which I'll get to in a minute. I just blew through this, sorry, I'm one slide behind here. So here we have costuming, acting, the stagecraft and playwriting, direction, lighting, and stage design. The Department of Dance is commingled in with our Department of Drama. We have a minor in dance here that focuses on ballet, modern, West African, performance and theory. It's a very open dance program. It's rolled into the drama program because we like to train performing artists. So we're interested in making sure that anybody who's coming from a drama perspective has experience with musical theater as well as have experience with dance, vice versa as well. The dance program is intermingled with the stage design, stage lighting programs and tech programs, such that you are getting that type of backing with the dance performance that's here on campus. I mentioned internships. So here in Asheville, like I said, there's nothing like this city. I came here from Chicago. My partner in the saxophone studio, my friend Jacob, is from New York City. He's Michael Bublé's Barry player. All of the people that are here within the music program are practitioners of the art form. We are active recording and touring artists that chose to live here because the music scene is so killer. But we didn't want to be in downtown Chicago or downtown New York City or downtown Nashville or LA anymore. But the people who teach here are from Miami, New York City, Austin, Texas, Nashville, LA, all of the major music scenes. That's who encompasses the professorship who's here. The recording studios that exist in the city of Asheville, the live sound events, the professional music performance, the Moog Factory, which is a block and a half from our campus. All of these things provide musical internships for our students. As far as the theater, as I mentioned, the theater companies regarding the tech work as well as the performance work throughout the greater Asheville area. And as I said here, the professional performing arts scene of Asheville, I mean, that's what you're embroiled in when you come here. I'll close. I am available to reach out and talk with anybody one-on-one. Email me. I actually make it a point to meet in person, face-to-face, every prospective student of any of the visual, literary, and performing arts that has interest in our school. So I am happy to schedule an appointment with you, sit down, answer questions. If I can't answer questions, I can find the answers to those questions. I'll get you in touch with faculty for face-to-face interviews, just so that you can learn what makes us tick and why it's so fun to be here. So I'm happy to answer any other questions, and I want to pass it along over here to who's next here. I've got to.
Hi, friends. Bear with me while I get my.
There we go, Sandra. You got your voice. Yeah, go.
Yes, I have my phone, so I will tell you I'm having technical difficulties this morning, so please bear with me. I'm hoping that you are seeing my PowerPoint slide. So thank you all so much for being here with us. My name is Sandra Baranowski. I'm the Director of Student Recruitment for our College of Visual and Performing Arts. And I wanted to chat with you all today very briefly and tell you a little bit more about us. We have about 1,500 students in our College of Visual and Performing Arts. We have schools of art, dance, music, and theater with a wide variety of different degrees that I'll get into in just a moment. But there's 3 themes that sort of run through all of our programs. And those are shown here. We believe in transformation through the arts, and you really get the best of both worlds with us at UNCG. You get a large liberal arts university. We have about 20,000 students enrolled across the university, but as I mentioned, within the CDPA, there are about 1,500, so you really get a smaller liberal arts environment there, very one-on-one. You get to know your faculty well, but you also get the benefit of high level quality conservatory studio training with our faculty as well. So you get the flexibility, the amenities of a big school, but you get that one-on-one attention and that high level training. You're also immersed from day one in all of our programs. We expect students to be an immediate contributing member of our community, whether you're in theater or the visual arts or one of music, dance, whatever, you're expected to be part of an ensemble or a production immediately, and our students love that. They walk away from our programs with tons of experiences that they can put on their resume, speak to in interviews, and real world experience, whether they're crafting a set or creating their own choreography and dance. They have some real world experiences. And then also, community is everything. At UNCG, our motto is service. We believe in that. Our students contribute an amazing amount of community service and service learning opportunities, but within the CDPA, that is true too. This past year, we contributed over 585 of our students, so about a little over a third of our students within the CDPA participated in one of our 24 community engagement programs. And we also have a rich community beyond giving back to the greater Greensboro area, but also to our community within ourselves. We bring in guest artists to support our students. This past year, before COVID happened, we had brought folks like Mark Morris Group or Camille A. Brown for dance. We brought in Nick Cave, Carrie Mae Weems in art. We had brought in folks like David Diggs was actually on the schedule but got canceled, so we're rescheduling him. But we bring in some really top line folks for our students to work with and have master classes and have some great experiences. First, we're going to talk about art. Here you can see this is Dan Holland. He's a Pixar story artist who comes and does workshops with our students pretty regularly. And in our School of Art, we offer quite a few different options for our students, whether it's in art history, studio art, or arts administration with the BA program, which really fits well for those of you pursuing the AA currently. But we also offer BFA programs in art ed with K-12 licensure, and then studio art with concentrations in new media and design, painting, photography, printmaking and drawing, sculpture, and ceramics. And we have lots of great opportunities for our students, whether it's through our Weatherspoon Art Museum that sits on the corner of Spring Garden and Tate Street. It's one of the premier academic art museums for contemporary art in the Southeast. It's free, so even if you're not interested in UNCG, we would love to have you on campus to come visit our art museum and check out our exhibits. We also have an excellent community engaged opportunity. We have the Greensboro Project Space, which sits right in the heart of downtown Greensboro for our students across all disciplines to display and perform their art. In addition to a variety of other facilities and galleries within the School of Art, we have obviously lots of labs and things for ceramics. We have a woodwork shop, we have a large sculpture area, and so on. So lots of different opportunities for you within our School of Art. Quickly, all of our students, regardless, will initially be admitted into our BA program, and then through a portfolio process, once you transfer in, will be selected through that process into our BFA program if that is your choice to do so. And you can see the URL there at the bottom if you would like additional information, but there's all of that happens with one of our faculty members in the visual art program, and he will help you put together your portfolio. You're welcome to bring in things that you may be doing at your community college right now, but we also give you opportunities and some time to create art with us that you might want to include as well. In our School of Dance, we offer both a BA and a BFA. So the BA, as someone mentioned earlier, I think from CACRAO, is much more broad for the student who's wanting to maybe do study abroad, a full semester commitment, or want some flexibility, some dual degree programs. Very similar in that respect. It's nice and broad. And then the BFA in dance performance and choreography is also available if you're looking to become a professional dancer or professional choreographer. Those options are available for you, and both of those degree programs do have the option to have the K-12 licensure added on to those programs. So if you're thinking you might want to teach at some point in the future, or even open your own studio and you just want that education credential with you for the extra, you can certainly do that too. A lot of our faculty in the School of Dance bring with them tremendous professional experience. We have folks who've worked with Martha Graham, Alvin Ailey, Ron Brown, a variety of different folks across the globe, but those are a few notables that a lot of students like to hear about. And they bring those networks that they have to our students as well to set them up for success. We do train the individual artists. I don't think you'll ever find a cookie cutter UNCG dance student. And so we really speak to what that person's talents and abilities are, and we work with them from that point forward. And we do have 8 different agreements for study abroad, and we really encourage that for a lot of our students. If you're interested, there's a lot of different opportunities for you to experience dance outside of the United States. And then so all of our degree programs, both the BA and the BFA, do require an audition in our School of Dance, and there's more information there. And of course, all of our programs, not just dance, but everyone's having virtual auditions this year. Next up is our School of Music, which is our largest school. We have 400 undergraduates in our School of Music and 200 graduate students pursuing either the master's or the PhD or DMA programs. And you can see all of those degree options that we offer there. The BA, again, nice and broad for the student who wants some flexibility or maybe wants to pair that degree with something else. Music education is the Bachelor of Music, and then we also have performance options with concentrations in brass and percussion, composition, jazz studies, keyboard, strings, voice, or woodwind. And our music program is just wonderful. We have over 15 different ensembles, and these are not just your traditional orchestra and wind ensemble and, chamber music, which is wonderful, do not get me wrong, but we also have an old time ensemble. We have steel pan, we have an Indian music ensemble. So we really run the gamut of a lot of different musical experiences for our students, and we encourage you to stretch yourself and get involved in a lot of different areas. Our students do wonderful work, and they're able to perform in our beautiful two recital hall, which holds about 375 folks. And then we also have the beautiful and historic UNCG auditorium, which all of our programs utilize on campus as well. And then the secondary admission requirements for our music program, all programs do require some sort of secondary admission. The BA has a special questionnaire you have to complete. And then if you're interested in the BM programs, those auditions, which are all virtual, like I said, are available in November, January, and February. And all of the specifics are available online. Our School of Theater, here you see a beautiful photo from one of our musical theater productions of Hair a couple of years back. And we offer a BA in drama along with a BFA in theater education with K-12 licensure. And then we also have the BFA in drama with concentrations in acting, musical theater, technical design, and production as well. And we put on about 10 productions each year. They're all hands-on, as I mentioned earlier, whether you're interested in tech design or the BA in drama, or you're performing through musical theater or acting. All of our students get a tremendous amount of hands-on experience through jobs within each of those productions. So our students walk away with so many great things to put on their resumes and point to and talking with interviewers there as well. And we really focus on that hands-on experience. And of course, as I mentioned, the guest artists and also study abroad too. Theater has some great opportunities for students. And then guest artists, as I mentioned, like our one of our alums, Joe Forbes, just recently was nominated for a Tony Award. And we have another alum who just recently was nominated also for The Inheritance as a producer. So we're really excited for our folks this year. But we have some great experiences through all of these programs for you. And then the secondary admissions process is listed here on this screen. Primarily, musical theater and acting programs require secondary admission when you first come into the university. So you do have to be selected through that audition process. For students interested in design, tech, and production or the theater education program, those processes are once you come in and get going into your classes. And there's more specifics available online, but essentially like in design tech, you have an assignment, you have a project, you have an interview with some faculty after your first semester, and then depending on your work, the quality of it, and so on, you would be selected for that program, and similar for theater education. So let's see. Next up, we've got resources for you as transfer students. Here are some URLs if you happen to be sitting there and you want to take a quick snapshot of this. We have our degree plans available online, along with our transfer equivalency. You can look and see exactly which classes will transfer from your current institution to UNCG. And then, of course, there's our CBTA webpage if you would like to find out additional information. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the wonderful value of the experience of attending UNCG. You can see our tuition, room, board is highlighted there, along with some financial aid statistics as well. Our students do phenomenal things at UNCG. We are listed as an area of distinction for the UNC system within the arts, and we are very proud of that. And this is a great opportunity for you to get some, again, a valuable educational experience through our program for a great price.
Hey,
and required materials. Yeah, I can wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you. We have about 1 more minute before we do have to give a hard stop to the session.
No worries. So there's some options for you to connect with us through our social media, and there's my information. Just remember deadlines are coming up March 1 for transfer students, but we would welcome your application at UNCG. And if you have any questions, want to visit, connect with a current student, any of those things, you can reach out to me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much to all of our presenters today. I hope that you all as participants have learned a lot about our performing arts here in North Carolina and South Carolina. But just as some final remarks, thank you all so much for joining us today. Once you close out this window, you will receive a quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that y'all are able to provide. And just remember that you are able to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org, and a recording of this session will be available at CACRAO.org as well, and that will be in about a week. But thank you all so much for joining us today. I hope that you all enjoyed today's session. Thank you to our presenters for all of the wonderful information that y'all provided today. But thanks, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day.